Let me make one thing abundantly clear for the soft-skulled, dumb, idiotic,
Soft
moronic
skull.
who don't know and understand. I'm a woman, whether you agree or not, and so I move in accordance. I'm not gonna be on a date with a man
Right,
unsafely because the
that's
last.
crazy.
That's cap. I accuse you of capping.
Already wilding, already violating. No, you. That's not. It's not even how that works. But you know what? Crimson Cure broke this whole thing down, and one of the reasons why this goes on is because women want to run from womanhood and what womanhood actually entails to the point where there are no rules to womanhood anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the other day, AC was reacting to an old episode of Wife Swap where you had a black guy who was basically a cuck. That dude was definitely getting cucked. He definitely was getting his junk put in the cage. All right, this video somewhere of him getting cut, probably getting cut by Brad too. I don't know if you haven't seen them jaws online where it's called. I don't know if they call it reverse cucking, but basically it's cucking where the black dude is getting cucked. And I don't know if it getting views like that, but that's probably what was going on with him. So the black family was the family where the women ran everything. The dude was kind of a bitch, you know. And when he had to go to the other family where with the submissive white woman and everything, when she told him, "Listen, stay out the kitchen. I don't want you in the kitchen." Then she said that's a woman's place. She wasn't saying it in a degrading way. She was saying, in so many words, that's a lost concept now. Of this is my kitchen. I don't want anyone messing around in my kitchen because I have things in here the way I like it. Things the way I want them to be at. It's arranged a certain kind of way, right? If you ever been to, like, you know, if you had a big mama, that's how Big Mama was. She don't want you touching her stuff, right? But anywho, so the point was the episode. It wasn't controversial. This is kind of the same dynamic with really every wife swap couple, but this couple in particular, it was interesting because what you saw was the end games of feminism, which is to always makes you uncomfortable. Everyone is uncomfortable hearing a woman say, "I want my house to be clean, and I'm going to clean it. I want my family to have meals. I want to make." These are basic adult functions. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are basic adult things, and for the most part, womanhood has been whittled down. And this is not even my concept. Womanhood has been whittled down to pretty much her holes. The end game is going to, for the most part, as far as what you're going to get from this woman is, which makes the way, yo, it's impossible for you to really say, yo, I want to really invest in this woman when like, yo, she's telling you, listen, the most you're going to get from me is mostly me being in your life, and we can have sex. When you watch Kendra G, you watch Kendra G, really any TikTok video, you know what I mean? In terms of what, especially what black women think a relationship is with a black man. Nah, it's pretty much, yo, you get access to my body. Ain't gonna be no cooperation. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no long term support. You may get intermittent support. Where for a little bit, y'all cool. And this person might say, yo, you know, they supporting what you rocking with you, and then, you know, a lot of guys what you won't experience, especially when you down bad, is when they just switch it up on you. You feel me? So, but anywho, circling back around to the main point of the reason why Duke can get up here and talk crazy this way is because women have gotten away. They want womanhood and want the experience in life to be, I just have fun. I have no duty. I have no responsibility towards making the world a better place in a way where I'm saying, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing for my family. You don't hear that shit. That's not what women don't lead with. This is how I show up as a mother, or this is how I show up as, if anything, especially when black women refer to motherhood and stuff like that, it's more so like them popping it at you and talking to you crazy, not necessarily making it sound like, yo, I'm a real good person. You feel me? Even when you look at dating profiles, you know, there is no, when these people write these profiles, they don't write them as if like they want somebody to read them and think, man, this is a sweet girl. This is a wonderful lady. Like all those profiles on Facebook dating, they all read like battle raps. They got mad. Y'all girls putting too many emojis. It's too much artwork. in y'all bios. You got all red flags and X marks and shit like that. They'll have like a list of things they don't want. Like, what is this? This is just it's uncomfortable. It's hostile. How you like black women actually make hostile dating profiles? This is how bad it is. But also, this is how out of touch they are with being women. Again, to the point where Duke can show up and say, I am a woman, whether you like it or not. And one of the reasons why these people talk this way is because women support that. Women love, especially black women love anything that feminizes black men and makes black men into bucks that's getting broken, or make black men into the hoe. And I guess a part of that shit is, our history. Our history is white men trying to degrade us, white men trying to do whatever they can from limit us economically, limit what we can learn, on top of actually like literally sexually assaulting black men since we've been in this country. You know what I mean? So that's a part of like what Keisha's seen happen to you. And I think that's a part of why, like, to this day, black women I always want to see the worst happen to you. I think, and men have a hard time realizing, like, nigga, you realize that she don't never actually win. She doesn't really want it. She's not investing in you winning. Like, she doesn't want you to win. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not investing. Which is why most black men cannot say that, my experience with my mother, even if your mother loved you, is not her telling you you can win and you can do it, and putting it in those words like, you can be whatever you want to be. You deserve a great girl. My mother loved me to death. To this day, my mother has never said to me, you deserve a good my mother has never said to me, son, you deserve a good woman. And I always ask black guys that, did your mother ever tell you that you deserve a good woman? And that's significant. You know why? Because women have lost the concept of what is a good woman. To the point where, and I think a part of that stuff is media programming. Media's like TV and movies for the last 30 years has been this thing where you see how they include these they try to give the character layers by giving them more darkness, and also it's always more interesting for the character to have toxic behavior or to do the wrong thing or to mess up, to the point where that's how women are living their lives. They think they're in a movie, in a TV series. Like, no, bitch, there ain't gonna be no more seasons. The next season and every season after that is gonna be just you single. All right, and then you want to age out a tizzy tour. Shout out to Ace. You're gonna age out a tizzy tours. It's getting bad out here. You got Duke out here talking about I'm a woman. Hear me groan. This is crazy. This nigga just shaved his chest.
He raped me, and I have an active investigation with law enforcement that's pending right now because of said circumstances. So let's make that abundantly clear first and foremost.
First of all, I didn't mean to hit that button. Hey. Mona, you niggas ain't real. That's not real. How big was this dude? Because I know you got enough testosterone to get a nigga off you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you got enough testosterone. 2026, Joe.
You've had your surgery.
I know you had your surgery, but you got enough testosterone to get a nigga off you. I mean, I think for the most part, and if you to check nigga's strength level, I think, I think that should be a thing you should think about. You should be asking, do you work out? How many push-ups can? My bad. I keep hitting the soundboard. You probably should be asking Duke, how many push-ups can you do before you come over? And also too, like what? And I'm not saying that couldn't happen and whatnot, but I'm just saying, it's such whenever people want to tell you a really personal story about themselves, that's always a sign of they're a person who wants the attention of a victim. They want to put themselves, they want to put you in the mindset of feeling as though you need to feel sorry for them. And what it does is it allows them to assume a certain level of authority over you in a conversation. Because off rip, they're I don't know what it is, but when someone puts themselves in the victim chair where they say, this was my traumatic experience, you can't help but to say, oh man, well, you want to know more, you want to have compassion, and you're kind of like distracted / thrown off, and they do that on purpose to stop you from saying, no, you are not a woman. It's your right to feel like you're a woman, but you're not a woman. You can't tell me it doesn't matter what I think. No. Obviously, other people don't care. If you can't, she's coming online. I'm sorry, he's coming online to talk about how basically how dumb you are to think that that they have to divulge. I'm sorry, divulge the information. I'm sorry, divulge the fact that they're not an actual woman, and this has become a problem. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Second of all, everyone trying to call me a predator for not disclosing that I'm trans on a first date in public is crazy.
No, let's bring it back.
Thing abundantly clear for the soft-skulled, dumb, idiotic, moronic,
Not
who don't know
soft-skulled, damn,
and understand context. At the end of the day, I'm a woman, whether you agree or not, and so I move in accordance. I'm not
Damn.
gonna be in a date with a man unsafely because the last time that I went to a man's apartment, he raped me. And I have an active investigation with law enforcement that's pending right now because of said circumstances. So let's make that abundantly clear first and foremost. Second of all, everyone trying to call me a
But hold on, I'm just saying, no, not to be insensitive, but like, well, if you be like not having like an actual vagina, I mean, like he has that's like a lot of time. So like, you know, to avoid this happening, like how does this happen? Does this person like bludgeon you with like mad punches beforehand, or like how is this happening? Because you still have some testosterone, like because trans people have enough testosterone like to still like beat all women in all sports. Like a trans dude can just go into the ring with a actual skilled fighter and beat her, no problem. And the same dude wouldn't be able to beat, you know, actual his male counterpart. You feel me? So I'm just saying it's definitely enough strength in there to do something. But I'm just saying, what I don't know. Well, what I know.
predator for not disclosing that I'm trans on a first date in public is crazy. Because that shows where y'all's true morals and intentions lie. Because some people, believe it or not, when meeting someone for the first time, their first thought isn't to sleep with them. Maybe that's just me, but that's usually not my first thought. Never in my life have I gotten on a date with a man and brought him back to my apartment or vice versa and he not know I was trans. Because yeah, that would be inherently predatory, but I've never done that. So there's a pretty big difference between meeting up with someone in a public setting to get to know them, like maybe what's their favorite movie? What's their favorite food? What do they like to drink? What do they do for fun? Where do they work? Not, oh, how can I get you back in my apartment to sleep with you? Maybe because you all act from a predatory mindset of the minute you go on a first date, you're thinking about how you can get someone in your bed. Maybe that's something that you do, but don't project that onto me. Because as someone who has never, ever once slept with someone who didn't know my business or ever once put someone in a situation who didn't know my business, that would be crazy.
Nah, I think it's all crazy. The first thing that's crazy from my perspective is the fact that you have biologically born men that'll sit here and jump on the internet and really try to justify, not only to themselves, but to other women and to men, that somehow, some way they are a woman. And I don't care what surgery, I don't care what pill, I don't care what transformation that you
This you've had your
We're
surgery.
good to go.
You feel me?
all, you are still a man, biologically born. We can sit here and we can try to finesse America and its standards and try to lean into what they think in certain states like California and try to make it seem like it's okay, and it's not. It's a finesse. And so anybody that, and let me be very clear. I'm not a person that believes in removing the rights of somebody that is not doing something illegal, their right to pursue happiness, or their right to be able to feed their family and themselves, or their right to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do in this country again, as long as you are not doing nothing illegal. Because while I may stand on this side from a moral or a spiritual perspective, doesn't mean that I'm gonna remove your humanity. However,
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that right there. So we go ahead and move on from that. But I wanted to share that clip because it's just really interesting. Because it's like you got to wonder, like how do we get here? How do we get here? You know, and I've been talking about this thing for the last few days about you got to really understand where you are in the game, where you are in the hierarchy. And that's why hierarchy is important. Remember I was saying before how like black people do not respect hierarchy, right? And a part of feminism is to disrespect and disregard hierarchy. And what that leads to is not being able to acknowledge when someone's your better. You know what I mean? So you don't deal with competition correctly. It also means that you do not evaluate threats appropriately. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone is way, but and I see this in battle rap all the time where it's like I'm like, damn, I feel like factually you should be able to know that no, you know you can't beat me, but you're still talking to me as if you can do something with me. But I say, oh, you know what? Your hate for me stops you from admitting that no, from admitting that I would definitely smoke you, which is fine. And that's why I said I don't need y'all niggas to tell me I be fucking y'all niggas up for me to know I be fucking y'all niggas up in fucking validation. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. So it's the end of an era, right? And I wanted to watch these videos with these trans folks. You guys can understand. Because I want to get into the mindset. I think that's been taken out of the conversation, which is what is the mental state of these people? What kind of lives do they lead on average, right? And that's not talked about enough. The only thing that's ever talked about when it comes to the general conversation is how you should refer to that dude as a she and how important it is. And I showed you a video earlier of a man who was making no effort. He just put on the nastiest wig possible and then wanted to jump up and down and scream and wear knee-high socks, yelling at a cop about why why don't misgender me, it hurts me so bad, and obviously this person is crazy. And we also got to have a conversation